with one group of people, you grow together, you get a coherent energy and a chemistry that works together. As a fan, I like to see bands stay together in the original lineup from beginning to end. That's, any band I've ever been in where we had to change members, oh God, I hated it, because though, it may have been for the better, it may actually get somebody in the band that works out better and less problems, stuff like that. As a fan, it's never the same, no matter what it is. Anybody that's a real music fan out there says the same thing. Sometimes it'll be better for the band, they'll end up having better success, With Van Halen, they had great or more success. With Sammy Hagar, I don't know if they did or not. For me, it was never the same, though I wish them well with the new lineup with Genesis. Peter Gabriel left. My God, our lives were torn apart when that happened back in the 70s. Genesis solo, or Peter Gabriel solo stuff after that was great. I loved it. Genesis after that had the biggest success, but it was never The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway or Supper's Ready. That for real fans, that was the great stuff. But you understand that stuff has to happen sometimes. Sometimes it just cannot continue on as it is for a lot of reasons. Sad to see, but it's gotta go on. And luckily, we have all that stuff on CD or vinyl or tape somewhere. So when you put it on, it's the moment again. So it's all preserved. One of the most unusual was Terry Bozzio. Unusual because he's a bass player. I'm watching drummers, and I'm used to drummers doing basic drum things, which Terry does. He's brilliant at it. Terry can do anything. But Terry does an amazing thing in that he uses drums as a compositional tool. So he's not always playing basic, straight-up drums. He's using them as a broad range, wide dynamic instrument. So it's amazing for what he does. And for me as a bass player, I had to really adapt and adjust to play with him. So, I wanted to play with him because I've just seen him do so many spectacular things. We did a record together, 9 Short Films. A pretty unusual record, but I get a lot of email about it to this day, and people really love the record. And it's a left turn for sure, but it was really inspirational to me. Learn by ear, play by ear, still to this day. Anything I learn, I gotta learn it by ear. So when I get some wacky, crazy, psychotic fusion thing, and with a 3 bars and 17, I gotta figure it out by ear. And it's funny because people always ask me for tablature for stuff that I play or play on. I have no idea. I have to do it by ear. Some of the Steve Vai stuff was a real challenge. Some of the Niacin stuff also was a real challenge because you got to do it and you got to play it, and you can only learn it by ear. It's kind of cool though, because it really does. Musicians, I think, in my humble opinion, and a little bit biased because it's about myself, but when you learn to play by ear, you really learn to listen and be able to respond right away. So when you're jamming and you listen to somebody else and they go somewhere, you don't need a roadmap. You know exactly how what they're doing just by ear. You can tell. And some musicians can do both, which is wonderful. But I can only learn by ear and only figure things out by what I hear in my head. I play guitar, which I mostly play baritone. This is a baritone guitar here. It's a baritone guitar is a regular guitar, only it's tuned down 5 frets or 1 string. So when you play an E chord, it's actually a B in the key of B, but it's the same fingering and everything like that. And regular tuned guitars. I prefer 12 strings because they're so big, grandiose, and orchestral. I can play a little bit of a recorder, which is a wooden flute-like instrument that I use on a lot of Bach, Brandenburg concertos that use the recorder. I play a little bit of harmonica, a little bit of drums. I can actually get a tone out of any of the trumpet, French horn, embouchure instruments. And I can actually know where to put my fingers on sax and flute as well. I can fake my way a little bit on keyboards, but not much. Just the basic, most rudimentary things. And I did buy a kit on how to learn the bagpipes. So that's my next step. Outside of music, I'm a self-educator. I'm into language, learning as much as I can about English, words, definitions, a little bit of philosophy. I shoot a little bit, don't hunt much anymore. I like to fish, but I haven't had time to do it for a long, long time. I was very, very much into fishing when I was younger. But most of that has all kind of gone by the wayside, and really music is just about everything to me. Music and my cat, Spooky, who is not here right now. I don't see her. Normally she'll lay on my recording console because it's warm and readjust all the knobs, and I had to get back into the manual to put it back to square one again. There's not much I do outside of music. I'm a fan, and I'm also a player. Between those two things, that covers a lot of time. Oh, I answer email too. That's probably my biggest hobby, is answering email. I've been cut, hurt, bruised, hit, up there so sick I couldn't stand up. I had to sit down and play. I was playing one time and leaning down, looking at my instrument, and a huge drool came out of my mouth. I didn't realize, because I was so into what I was doing, I wasn't paying attention. I looked up and everybody in the audience was watching like that, saw the whole thing, totally embarrassed. Played a whole set with my zipper down one time, and I never sneezed on stage. I never threw up on stage. I did actually have to pee on stage one time. Fortunately, the dressing room was right next to my side of the stage, and I had a long cord, and I went in there, and one of the crew guys held a bucket like that, and while I was playing, played the song, and he held, and I didn't. Good thing we didn't touch anything electrical and had a short or anything like that, because that would have been a really crazy thing. But I actually managed to have a pee while I was on stage. But there were many more, many wilder. Trust me, if you see me with a glass of red wine in a club somewhere, you probably can extract them from me.